Today we're going to be talking about the 5 things that it takes to be a great quarterback that can be shown off the field, not necessarily with your on-field skills. Now, the first thing that you need to be a great quarterback, I feel, is you need to love the boring stuff. So what do I mean by loving the boring stuff? I think a lot of times, like, you see a lot of different things on social media. You know, you see the flashy quarterback drills, you see the flashy videos, you know, and I think people just think like it happens overnight, like quarterbacks are just great overnight. But to be 100% honest with you, if you're not like immensely, like just naturally gifted, you're not going to be a great quarterback unless you love the boring stuff. And there's not a lot of us, like myself included, are not just born with a ton of talent. Like, everybody's born with a little bit of talent, especially if you're playing the quarterback position. But like, if you're just an average build guy, not the tallest, not the fastest, not the strongest, don't have the strongest arm, you need to love the boring stuff if you're going to get any kind of better. So what do I mean by the boring stuff? I mean repping out mechanical things over and over again. I mean watching hours of tape over and over again to where you can't forget it. Like, for example, like I was a quarterback in high school, and when I threw, I would have this really long, like wind up motion where my arm would almost like fully extend back, and when it would fully extend back like this real long, slow release, right? So what I had to do to fix that didn't happen overnight. I didn't go to a quarterback coach or a camp and they just told me like, hey, fix that, and then I fixed it. It was thousands upon thousands of reps, hundreds upon hundreds of hours of me just standing in front of a mirror and repping out my motion with a light dumbbell, then with a football, then going to a field and standing up next to a fence to shorten my motion to where I couldn't forget it. That's just one example, but if you have problems with your game, it's not going to be fixed overnight. You need to love the boring stuff, and you need to make a schedule for yourself, in my opinion. That's what worked best for me. Like, I saw I read an article, or I was in a book or something when I was a high school player, and it really stuck with me. It was the 1,000 rep rule and the 10,000 rep rule. So like 1,000 reps can break a bad habit, 10,000 reps can master a bad habit. So my thought process was I could crank out 1,000 reps of something that I need to work on within 2 weeks. If I just go 100 reps, 100 reps, 100 reps, like 5 days a week, 500, next week, 500, bam, I've fixed the bad habit in my eyes. So that was the way I approached it. It's very boring. It's not flashy. It's not something people talk about, but I'm telling you right now, you have to love the boring stuff if you're going to be a great quarterback. Now, fellas, if you are a quarterback or a wide receiver and you would like to train with myself and my staff of coaches this offseason, we're going to be traveling out to 15 different cities across the entire U.S. for 2-day long QB and wide receiver training camps. Next up on our camp tour, we're going to be coming out to Orlando, Florida, Phoenix, Arizona, Charlotte, North Carolina, Austin, Texas, but all 4 of those camps, you guys, are completely sold out. We don't let 200, 300 people show up to our camps. Even though we could, we don't do it because we like to limit spots so each athlete can get individual coaching. So all the camps I'm about to list have available spots, but they will sell out here, guys, within the next 1 to 2 months. All of our camps will be completely full. That's the way it's at least trending right now. So then we'll be coming out to Las Vegas, Nevada, Seattle, Washington, Chicago, Illinois, Newark, New Jersey, Birmingham, Alabama, Houston, Texas, Boston, Massachusetts, Columbus, Ohio, Boise, Idaho, and finishing off the entire tour in Los Angeles, California. So guys, you want some more information? Very first link in that description below. We'd love to have you there. Now, the next thing to be a great quarterback is you got to be a film junkie, you guys. I'm talking like every single day you should probably be watching at least an hour of tape. Now, what I would say about this is like, it's tough in the off season, right? Like, maybe you don't have film, but like you can rewatch film. To be 100% honest with you guys, you can rewatch film from the last year to where you like can't forget it, and you could always constantly review different coverages, different formations, your playbook. You can never get enough of that stuff, you guys, because you need to learn it to where you cannot forget it, especially if you're not one of those guys that's just like, because a lot of quarterbacks like naturally are gifted above the neck. They have a very, very like, you know, you see it all the time. The quarterbacks are usually the high GPA guys, like school comes really easy for them. But for a lot of you guys where that's maybe not the case, you have to study film like it's another class that you were taking in school. Like, I remember for me personally in the off season, it was mandatory. I would watch an hour of film a day, whether I was studying coverages, whether I was studying my offensive playbook, looking at film from the last year to try to prep me for the upcoming year, or watching film of other quarterbacks throw to study their throwing motion and gain knowledge of how they're able to be so successful. During the season, I would watch probably 2 hours of film a night, because like we would have a game on Friday, let's say. We would get the film for the next game on Saturday. Saturday. So Saturday, what I would do is I would watch a full, like every single game of film. Let's say we had 4 games of film. I'd watch all 4 of them dry run. Just watch them, don't even pause it, take notes as we go. Then on Sunday, I would break it down individually. Like, okay, I'm gonna watch this game today and take notes on every play. Then I'm gonna do the next game, and I would do all 4 games. Then on Monday, I would do the same thing. Tuesday, I would do 1 game. Wednesday, I would do another game. Thursday, I'd do another game, maybe 2, and then Friday was the game. So I was watching film every night of the opponent we were playing, because that's how you could get a leg up on them, you guys. Especially like we talked about in the beginning. If you're not physically gifted, if you're not immensely talented, you have to take care of those little details if you want to be a great quarterback. Now, the third thing that I feel that it takes to be a great quarterback, you might wonder what this means where I say reason why. I think you need to be obsessed with the reason why behind certain things as a quarterback. I know for me, that was a big thing that motivated a lot of the training that I did in the off season, because it was just like, you know, there are a lot of coaches out there that want to give their 2 cents on the quarterback position. Like, hey, hold the ball up high. Hey, get to the perfect L. But if they can't answer why, then you probably shouldn't be taking their advice. And that's what I try to pride myself on with the training I do with athletes, is like, I am always gonna try to answer the reason why. If I'm telling you something that you should be doing and I can't tell you why you should be doing it, I probably shouldn't be telling you it in the first place, right? So I think as quarterbacks, you need to be just obsessed with figuring out that reason why, because that can help you buy into training methods. So if you have a quarterback coach and he's telling you to do certain things, he's telling you to throw the ball a certain way, do a certain drop, whatever, ask him why in a respectful way. But if you can find that reason why and you understand that, that makes you buy in more to the training that you're doing. A quarterback like coach tells you, hey, don't do bench press. Why? Oh, it puts an immense amount of pressure on your rotator cuff. When you get to this point, it's not good, not athletic. Okay, cool. I'm gonna buy into that. I'm gonna listen to what he's saying. You should be searching for that reason why, because when you get that answer, that changes your whole perspective on how you approach training, how you approach off-season workouts, because then you're actually working with a purpose, and that's when guys see the biggest gain in their skills and improvement in the off-season. Now, thing number 4 that it takes to be a great quarterback is leading by example. Now, I know a lot of you guys probably think like a lot of people view leadership as like, you know, like you have to be this rah-rah type of guy, like where you have to yell at everybody, get everybody hyped up and excited. The thing at the quarterback position, you guys, like you're already in a leadership role just by choosing that position. The best advice I could give to you is just lead by being yourself. Now, by being yourself, like if you're not a rah-rah guy who's gonna like yell at people, like that's totally fine. You can lead by example. Even if you are a rah-rah, get in guys' face, talkative, extroverted type of guy, you still need to lead by example, because if you're just speaking words and you have no actions to back it up, your team's not gonna respect you. If you don't, like let's say for example, if you're just speaking words at people and you know, you're kind of a quiet, more introverted guy, people are gonna know that that's fake and that's not genuine, and they're not gonna respect you. It always comes from leading by example. So I'm talking class. You need to make sure that your grades are on point. You're not missing class. You're not missing school. You're not missing practice ever. You're at every single meeting. You're sitting in the front of every single meeting. You know your playbook. You know everybody else's job, because they're going to respect that work ethic, because people look to you as a quarterback regardless if you are viewing yourself as a leader or not. Everybody's eyes are on you whether you like it or not, so you need to make sure you're leading by example. And that's just an effort thing, you guys. Leadership, leading by example, it's purely effort based. Am I going to put in any extra effort to make sure that I'm doing the right things every day so the other team gets lifted up? There's 2 types of leaders. You have a thermostat leader who sets the tone of the room by leading by example. Then you have a thermometer leader who kind of comes into the room and feels the temperature and kind of just sticks to the room. You don't want to be that guy. Set the temperature in the room by leading by example. Now, fellas, if you would like to play college football, one of the best strategies to help you reach out to different college coaches is using social media, more specifically X, formerly known as Twitter. So if you guys would like a list of over 500 different, literally over 500 different college coaches and their X handles that you can contact, DM, get your film in front of, ask them about camps that they'll be hosting, all mapped out for you guys. Check out that second link in the description below. We just developed a website called First Down Coaching, where we have a full database of over 500 different college coaches to help you with the recruiting process and messaging coaches and reaching out to them. So again, guys, second link in that description below. We'd love to get you on there. Now, the 5th thing that it takes to be a great quarterback is self-belief. Like, I honestly, like, you know, a lot of people put the bumper sticker phrases out there, like, you gotta believe in yourself, like, have confidence in yourself, etc. But self-belief comes from, like, doing all of these things on this board. That's why I mentioned this last. Like, you're not just gonna believe in yourself if you're not doing the boring stuff every day, if you're not watching film to understand your opponent, if you're not searching for the reason why and constantly elevating your skills in the off season, if you're not leading by example and doing the little things every single day, you're not gonna believe in yourself. And then when you get into a game, you're not gonna have the confidence to be able to let that ball go. You wanna be so sick and tired of the work that you were putting in when game day rolls around that you just wanna get it over with and just perform, and you know you're gonna perform well because of the work that you have been putting in. So self-belief is only gonna come, guys, from putting in the time, putting in the effort, doing the little things, going to every practice, never missing a lift, never missing a field training, never canceling on your private trainer. All those things are gonna lead to that, and that is probably the most important aspect of being a great quarterback, because you're in a leadership role, you are the role model of the offense, and you have to make sure that you believe in yourself and believe in your skills.